Don't you know who you are?
These here are 154 cm. We're trying some stainless.
You are more than the choices that you've made. You are more than the sum of your past mistakes. You are more than the problems you create. You've been remade.
One of the makers today I'm going to talk about are Grayman knives. I asked them and they don't want me to change anything I say in a video. And that is very respectable. Like, I mean, they're not, they don't want me to sugarcoat, cover any words, avoid saying anything. They even said, you know, they said, you know, specifically that, you know what, Dave, just do your thing and never, you know, censor anything you want to say. But in this video, I am going to do something that would avoid the warranty. And that would be, I'm going to fix this knife on my own. And they do want me to mention that that's not necessary. If you have a problem with your knife, you can send it in to them and it'll be under warranty. They will fix whatever it is. And in this case, I think the main issue most people will have with their Grayman's folders will be side play. And the reason why then I'm going to make a video right now showing how to fix that is because I want to show just how small of an issue that is, at least on this knife. It's not an overall design weakness, it's not an actual mess, you know, of poor fit and finish. It actually is something very simple, and that's why I want to do this video, to show you guys how little that issue is because of how quickly it can be fixed. And then, of course, you know, if you don't care, if you're someone who's going to intend to abuse your knife anyway, you know, maybe you could just do it. If not, you can send it to the Graymans and they will fix it. First, we're going to do a little unboxing and shout out to the Graymans. So today, what we're looking at is Grayman knives. And as you can see here, they saw the charity video and the holiday charity sale, and they wanted to donate a knife. So guys, I'm gonna have this Duo for sale. You know, I'm just gonna leave it like this. It's just in here. I'm gonna leave this Duo for sale. I'm gonna have to take out some for shipping and tax and whatever else I have to deal with. But it should be a fair price. This next time I'm gonna be donating to the Children's Hospital because I know in like February or sometime soon they have like a community day, and that is I like to be part of that one where, like, you know, I have like a connection from my old business. I can buy Legos for a discount, like a 30 or 50% discount from the Lego store, and select times a year. And so what you know, it's kind of cool. I can just go buy a bunch of Legos and then I just give them to the kids in the hospital. It's good because, you know, it's something that the kids can play with constantly and you know, kind of trade with each other. You know, it's better than hospital beads or prayer beads or whatever else they come up with sometimes. For this is like refreshing. This is just, you know, it's uplifting to know that just finally a knife maker that cares, you know. I like Grayman's and the Grayman knife. Maybe because they are local to me. They are up here near the mountains. They're in Lake Arrowhead, and so, you know, they're mountain people and I like the mountains and I just like that vibe. But I've been messing with this Duo here. First thing, let's just look at, it's the size of a small Sebenza pretty much. Actually, it was a ½ inch longer. Think of it as like a beefy small Sebenza. It's really nice. For the price, which unfortunately I have to sell a little high, it's kind of like buying a Strider PT except you're getting dual titanium, you know? I mean, you're still getting S30 and a PT doesn't really have that thick of a blade. This one has, you can see the blade stock. I mean, so you're getting like, it's like a Hest / Sebenza. I mean, you know how Sebenza people are always messing with me saying like, oh, it's not a tactical knife, you know, why are you, whatever you're doing, it's just a cutting tool. It is, okay. So then that's what this is too. You gotta respect it. It's just a cutting tool. You know, it packs more cutting edge into a small package, so it's just meant to be used as a tool. I kind of sense that off their website, the Graymans, they kind of emphasize maybe a military tactical kind of thing. You know, I don't really care. People use their knife for whatever they want to use it for. That's up to them. But I can say that, yeah, I feel that the Grayman knives, the Satu and the Duo, need some more respect because of what they are. Not having a safety choil, but they're kind of more like hard use folders because, I mean, look at how it's constructed. But I mean, it's a great value because you're not getting dual TI with a Strider PT. If you want a dual TI Strider PT, you're going to pay like over $600. And you compare the Sebenza cost and even the Grayman, and you're getting, you know, more blade, you're getting more steel, you're getting S30, and you're getting the dual titanium, I mean, now the only thing you're really looking at is, you know, maybe lockups, you know, maybe warranties, maybe edge, you know, blade geometry and those kind of concepts, you know, and then of course the fit and finish. Real fast, not to do a full review, the Grayman edge that comes with is like, you know, here. I mean, here you could just see what. Did it cut me? Oh, I mean, you can't even. Yeah, it's I don't call this an edge. I think this is like kind of just generally setting a bevel. You know, I don't even know why even do it, but I mean, you know, it looks like it has an edge. But the thing is, to get it like to a decent cutting edge angle, you're gonna have to take that bevel high like I did on mine. And even then, the thickness of the blade, it's not a very good kitchen knife. I can say that. You know, you cut a potato and the potato just breaks apart. It's not really meant for that. You want it to look nice and clean, kind of like this side, you know, where the edge, actual edge bevel stays nice and doesn't look all, doesn't jack up the way the knife looks. You can see what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying on this? You know, you don't see this large bevel on it. Then you're going to have a wide cutting edge angle, like it's kind of like a strider. If you think a strider can't cut, it has that same kind of, you know, just surface cutting, not easily cutting through things. That's minor. That's minor. You know, you can set it to wherever you want. So the only real problem I've had with the Grayman knives now, the Duas, which now I've held multiple, is their side play, and it's not a small amount. It's a noticeable, full-on noticeable amount. Now, in terms of lockup, I can say that mine has worn in very well, even though the lock bar I showed you, lock bevel is radiused. So it does that whole, you grip it. Well, not right now. That's good. It can get kind of stuck. It can kind of stick sometimes. It can kind of squeeze inward. Right now it's not, thank God. And it's a good knife. You can flick it hard. The lock bar is just, it's staying. It's not wearing in too fast. It's not doing anything silly. It's actually, the whole lockup is very nice. And so we're going to test that right now. The lockup. So this is with some side play. Mine has side play. Now, I'm going to do, okay, first of all, this knife, because of the weight, is pretty good at chopping. You can chop with it, watch. You see, it'll take chunks off, so it's nice. So, possibly a real world use, you may overstrike it, so we're going to do some overstrikes, okay? And it's still locked up, and lock bar kind of maybe went in just a little bit. Yeah, this is going to damage my lock bar a little bit. Yeah, there's some up and down now. But that can be alleviated by pushing the lock bar in, which we're going to test right now too. So it dented the lock bar. The point is, it doesn't fail with the side play. Now it's got some up and down. For those people who think titanium frame locks are hard use, frame locks can't stand like constant beating. You go for a cold steel triad lock, okay? Think of it as a lightweight locking, a more tactical version of a slip joint, not slip joint, friction folder, with the lock bar here instead of up here, and that's what you got. Now, the main problem though is on the Grayman is the side play, and the side play though is because there is that little bushing, kind of like a Sebenza. I thought of this, and then one of my subscribers, James in San Francisco, he had mentioned that concept that he said maybe this would fix it, and hopefully the Graymans aren't upset about this, and heck, if it works, maybe they could do it. Or the question is, why don't they? And if they don't, does it really matter if it's this easy? Okay, let's see if we can fix this issue. The Sebenza has that little special way of removing the blade, and you just slide it out, and everything holds because of the pivot. What if you just sanded down the pivot bushing, just ever so slightly, so that it fit a little more snug, that there's a little less space being pushed apart by that bushing right here. Let's see, this bushing right here. I mean, if this was just a little bit more narrow, then this would be a little more snug and there'd be less side play. Now, is this voiding warranty? I'm not saying to do it. I'm just saying this is what I'm going to do. So first I'm going to bend it. You know, sorry, Mr. Grayman, but I got to bend it. I want to see if my lockup will have lock rock, and plus now it's it's having up and down play. So I must fix this. This is what I would do to my knife, you know. So it's my knife. You can see why though, because you can see right here, you see on the lock bar, it has a large contact portion. So that's why I was saying it hasn't worn under normal use. It won't wear very quickly. It's very nice. I mean, it breaks in kind of fast immediately, but then it stays. But you see that little dent. You know, it has a nice contact portion. It's better than the Strider. I'm just gonna say it's just truth. Now it wears better, and it kind of has that same kind of Strider-like lockup. But I don't know if it'll have lock rock, because now that's more inward and going to touch more of that slant. I don't know if it's going to slide off that edge. But here's the bushing, and I'm going to sand it down a little bit. I'm just going to do one side and just count like about a certain number. We'll just try like 50 on this fine diamond. Okay, definitely sanded because you can see it. And you know what? I don't even want to try to do it on fine ceramic. I'm fine with. I'll do 50 on the other side. Okay, I'll bend this a little bit more, guys. Okay, yeah. Let's put this back together, and let's see what we got now. So you can just slide it in like that, and let's see how well it is now, and let's keep our fingers crossed, right guys? There's no up and down rowel. There's no sliding because I didn't think there would be, because you can see the lock bevel on the Grayman is a little bit more, not as sudden slant as a Strider. It's not as curved, you can see it. And plus that larger contact portion. So I want to say that the possible up and down, the possible, maybe I just need to, let me see. No, it's the side to side. Still the side sideways. The side side better. Oh, the side side's a little better. One more time. So here it is. You see, just pull it out like a Sebenza. Easy. This stays. Okay, so 50, right? Okay, 50 on this side. Okay. These screws are good quality. Let's see. Okay. Well, there we go. I went a little too far. I wish I stopped at 30, I feel like. So a total of 80 on each side. It's a little snug now. I did a little too much, but you know what? Let's see, the pivot, the screw is screwed all the way down, so I don't need Loctite, and it can open if I add some lube. It's a strong, but zero side play, zero up and down. Awesome. Okay, so it works. Let's see if it's centered. I'm happy. I'm proud of myself. I really am. This is pretty cool. Okay, that's good. So it's centered, and it doesn't have any side play. It's solid, really solid. A couple spine waxes for the heck of it. Still solid. Nah, okay. Damn it, a little more up and down again. Gotta bend it in more. Don't keep doing that, guys. It's not really necessary. You don't need to purposely damage your lock bar, but you know, you get the concept here. Keeps wearing. Solid right now. If I just squeeze it inward, it's rock solid. You can see where the lockup is. The lockup can get damaged with hard use. It looks to have a nice lockup. It isn't so slanted that when it starts to go too far this way, it hits a really sharp drop and it slides off kind of like Strider. And it isn't so much also that when you bend it, that when it keeps contacting rather than now it being too flat, kind of like the Boker Pipsqueak recently. And like I said, I've been using it a lot, doing all the shaking, you know, really hard opening. And you can see that the back here has been wearing very well, because it is radius here, so it sits more flush with the stop pin, so a lot of contact area. So very little wear on the stop pin, in the sense that you know, it's not going to wear down very quickly, and you know, the blades start to move further that way. So that's really nice. So all that hard shaking didn't really affect it in any negative way. Only just need the lock bar to break in. I damaged my lock bar by doing this, but you know, as I use it, it'll start to sit more flush again, and it'll be okay. It'll stop sticking. It was smooth. It's sticking now. It'll be okay, and it'll just break back in. It'll be a little bit later, but just a little bit. And you can see, you know what? That's pretty good still. I like that. You know, that's another nice thing too about this knife is you're getting a large, thick lock bar surface. You can see that how thick the area is. So even though it's contacting 50% of the blade tang, you still got, you know, it's still only contacting maybe like 60% or 65% of the lock bar. So lots of time for wear, you know, even in a sense compared to Sebenza. So it's a great value. I don't know of a folder in these price ranges that's dual TI with this thick, about 4mm thick S30V blade, you know what I mean, with a Sebenza style pivot, you know, and then, you know, beefy screws and a nice lockup. It's a really good value. It's a good value. It's a good knife. I like it. I do like this knife a lot. Save money and end up with a beefier knife that possibly is a little more tactical. This is a good choice over Sebenza. Not to knock the Sebenza, really nice, clean knife, but this one has definitely some pros and some initial cons. But like I said, nothing that can't be fixed. So if Sebenza were to go on steroids, this is what you got. Very cool. It's got that, you can hear it. You can squeeze it a little bit. It's like a Strider. Because that lock bar, the spring tension, I'm gonna have to bend that lock bar in more so that it'll engage itself rather than me having to squeeze it in place. That's just because from all the testing and stuff. When I squeeze it in more, bend it more in, it'll lock up on its own rather than me being able to move it in. It's always going to kind of have that though because of that radius, you know. But what is nice though is then, you know, then because of the radius, if I squeeze it, it won't jam. It won't go all the way in. It'll stop at some point because the curve is getting too extreme. So kind of those hard use pro and con. But thank you. People have said like they're afraid that it's just going to come down and bite their finger when they close the knife. It has a stopping point where the detent catches it from swinging down. So you don't really have to worry about, there's that detent that stops it. See, so if you're in like, interesting little note also, this the Strider tool works for all the screws on the Grayman. So it's the same size as a Strider.